Welcome, everybody. If you are listening to this right now, you might actually be staring at an open suitcase on your bed.
Right. Debating if you really need to pack that extra fleece jacket,
Exactly. Or maybe you are already sitting at the boarding gate holding a ticket to Nepal.
which is incredibly exciting.
It is. Because today we are looking at something very specific. The Holi Festival in Nepal, this March 2nd, 2026.
And it is not just the festival this year.
Right. We have an entire week of events based on the travel guides from David Ways.
He is a Nepal guidebook author, and he really has the best on-the-ground intelligence for this stuff.
He really does. And his work is the sole focus for our discussion today. No outside noise, just what he is seeing and reporting from the ground.
Which is vital because this specific week in Nepal is shaping up to be what we are calling a super week.
A super week. I mean, that sounds fun, but also a little daunting for a tourist.
It is a convergence. You have one of the most chaotic and joyful cultural festivals colliding right into a major political event.
The general election.
Exactly, the general election. And they are practically sitting right on top of each other on the calendar.
So our goal today is to help you navigate this. We are going to break down David Ways' insights so you know exactly how to enjoy the colors and the chaos of Holi.
While also knowing how to stay completely clear of the political side of things.
Because the margin for error this week is thin.
Very thin. If you play it right, it will be the trip of a lifetime. If you get it wrong, well, let us just say election laws in foreign countries are not something you want to mess with.
Definitely not. So let's pull up the calendar. The calendar of chaos.
I love that he calls it that.
It fits perfectly. So the first week of March, 2026. March 2nd is a Monday.
And that is the big day. That is the Holi Festival.
The Festival of Colors.
Right. It marks the arrival of spring, the victory of good over evil.
But geography is really tricky here for tourists, right?
Oh, yeah. It trips people up constantly. When we say Holi is on Monday, March 2nd, we are specifically talking about the hilly regions.
The mid-elevation zones.
Yeah. So that means the capital, Kathmandu.
Kathmandu is where most people fly into.
Exactly. And it also includes places like the pottery town of
Timi, right?
And the lakeside city of Pokhara.
Pokhara is huge for travelers.
Massive. So if you are in Kathmandu or Timi or Pokhara on Monday, you are going to be right in the middle of the party.
But there is a twist.
The Terai twist.
Explain the Terai twist.
Okay.
Because I would hate to be the tourist who gets this wrong.
Well, the Terai is the flatlands down south near the border with India, places like Chitwan National Park.
Where people go to see the rhinos.
Exactly. If you are in a place like Sorha down there, Holi is not on Monday.
It's not on Monday at all.
No, it is celebrated 2 days later, on Wednesday, March 4th.
That is a huge difference.
It really is.
Yeah.
Imagine waking up in your hotel in Chitwan on Monday. You have your white t-shirt on. You bought your colored powder. You walk outside.
And nothing is happening.
Nothing. People are just going to work. You would look totally ridiculous.
And the opposite is true, too.
Right. If you wait until Wednesday to celebrate in Kathmandu, you missed it. The streets will be completely normal. Well, actually not normal.
Right, because the election.
Yes. The staggered festival schedule sets up the domino effect for the election.
So let us layer that in. The general election is on Thursday, March 5th.
Thursday the 5th. And we need to give some quick background on why this election is happening now.
The Gen Z protests.
Yes, from last September.
Right, the protests that essentially brought down the previous government.
They did. The younger generations took to the streets, citing massive corruption. And it worked. The government was removed.
Which is incredible. We are absolutely not taking a political stance here on who should win or who is right. We are just stating the facts of why the election is happening.
Exactly. Our focus is purely on how this impacts you as a traveler.
Because high-stakes elections mean movement, logistics.
Right. And David Ways suspects this is basically going to turn into one long week of holidays.
Walk us through his theory on that. Why does a Thursday election ruin a whole week of travel?
It is all about how the voting system works there. Most people have to vote in their hometown or village.
So if you move to Kathmandu for work,
you have to go back to your village to cast your ballot. You cannot just mail it in.
Wow.
Yeah. So think about the week. Monday is Holi. That is a public holiday.
Government offices are closed, banks are closed.
Right. Then Tuesday, people are recovering. But Wednesday is the massive travel day.
Because they have to get home for Thursday.
Exactly. The bus parks in Kathmandu are going to be absolute bedlam on Wednesday morning.
I can just picture it.
Every single bus and van heading out of the valley is going to be packed to the brim, people sitting on the roofs of the buses.
So if you're a tourist trying to casually catch a bus to Pokhara on Wednesday,
Do not even try. David is very clear about this. Tourist transport usually continues during these times, but the local transport is going to be completely overrun.
it will be a mass migration.
And then Thursday is the election itself, which is almost guaranteed to be declared a public holiday.
Right. They want people to be able to go vote.
So Thursday, everything is shut down. And then Friday.
Well, Friday, nobody is going to travel 8 hours back to the city for one day of work.
Exactly. They will stay in their village. They will wait for the election results to come in. Have a results party.
And then Saturday is already the standard weekly public holiday in Nepal anyway.
So from Monday to Saturday, the country is basically on pause. It is one giant long holiday.
That is wild. You really have to adjust your expectations if you are visiting this week.
You do. You have to be prepared for odd working hours, things opening late or not at all.
But let us get back to the fun part. The Monday Holi.
Yes. Let us talk about the party.
David describes it as one of the greatest festivals on the calendar.
Yeah.
It is not just about throwing color around, is it?
No, it is much deeper. It acts as this incredible social equalizer. Well, Nepal has a lot of social structures. Age matters. Status matters. But on Holi, all of those barriers just dissolve.
Everyone is fair game.
Absolutely. It does not matter if you are a teenager or an elderly shopkeeper. If you are out on the street, you are getting hit with color.
I love the idea of that. It is just pure joy.
David mentions he has never seen so many genuine smiles as he does during Holi.
So paint the picture for us. What does it actually look and feel like on the ground?
Well, you have this colored powder everywhere. They call it gulal.
Gula.
Yeah, it fills the air, it settles on the buildings. And then you have the water balloons, the lolas.
So you are covered in dry powder, and then you get hit with a water balloon.
Exactly, and it turns into this bright paste. And there is music pumping from everywhere. It is a sensory overload in the best way.
Where's the absolute best place to be to experience this?
If you want the massive crowd experience, you have to go to Durbar Square in Kathmandu.
Kathmandu Durbar Square.
Yes, specifically the Basantapur area. It is thousands and thousands of people packed between these ancient temples.
That sounds intense.
It is very crushed.
Yeah.
Very loud. But if you want to ease into it, you start in Thamel.
Thamel, the main tourist district, right?
Right where all the guest houses are. The party starts there a bit earlier, around 9 in the morning.
Okay.
It starts with the local kids and shopkeepers, and then this huge crowd slowly moves together from Thamel down toward Durbar Square.
Like a colorful river.
Exactly. And if you are over in Pokhara, the vibe is a bit different.
How so?
In Pokhara, the main celebration runs right along Lakeside.
That sounds beautiful.
It is. It starts around 10 in the morning there, and it is just a massive moving party along the water.
I want to talk about this anecdote David shared because it really captures the spirit of the day perfectly.
Guest house wars.
The guest house wars.
Yes.
It is such a great story.
Though he is staying at this guest house, and instead of hiding in his room, he decides to fully commit.
Oh, he arms himself. He goes out and buys 80 packets of dye powder.
80 packets. That is a small mountain of color. And a huge water gun. But the best part is the balloons. He buys 100 water balloons.
And he fills them all up.
He spends the morning filling 100 balloons and putting them in buckets on the rooftop.
He is building an armory up there.
He really is. He recruits all the local kids from the neighborhood, too. They form this little rooftop militia.
And who are they targeting?
The owner of the guest house.
The owner.
Yeah, the guy tried to sneak into the building early to avoid the mess, and David and the kids just rained color down on him.
That is hilarious. Did he get mad?
David says the guy was completely covered in yellow dye, just yellow from head to toe. At first he was shocked, but then he just started laughing. You cannot be angry on Holi.
But you do have to be careful if you are watching from a balcony, right?
Yes, this is a big warning. Do not be the tourist who complains.
A breakfast couple.
All right. David tells this story about a couple sitting on a neighboring balcony trying to eat breakfast while the street below is just erupting.
And a balloon lands near them.
A water balloon splashes near their table, and instead of laughing, they stand up and start yelling at the crowd.
Oh, no.
Yelling about how they're trying to eat and to keep the noise down.
You do not yell at a Holi crowd.
Never. David said he just yelled welcome to Nepal, and then he and the kids launched a volley of balloons right at them.
They became the primary target.
Oh, absolutely. They had to grab their toast and run inside. Even a Korean tourist in David's building came out and started throwing balloons at the grumpy couple.
It brings everyone together. But the lesson is, if you are visible, you are playing.
If you are outside or on a balcony, you are giving your consent to be hit with color.
So let's get into the survival guide portion of this.
Yeah.
Because it's fun, but you need to be smart.
Clothing strategy is step one.
Wear old clothes.
Clothes you are completely fine with throwing in the garbage at the end of the day.
A lot of people wear white.
White t-shirts are the classic move because the colors pop so well against them. You look incredible by noon. But do not wear your expensive hiking gear.
Now, let us talk about the dye itself, because David has a very strong warning about this.
Yes, not all dye is safe. You have the dry powder, which is fine, but then you have the grease-based dye.
The grease?
Or oil-based dye. It is usually blue or silver, and it is horrible stuff.
What makes it so bad?
It is full of harsh chemicals. David had a terrible experience with the blue oil dye a few years ago.
It burned his skin right.
It actually burned him, and because it is grease, it does not wash off with water. You have to scrub your skin raw to get it off. It takes days.
That sounds awful. How do you avoid it?
You cannot completely control what someone throws at you, but you can be smart. If you see someone walking toward you with a bucket of dark blue paste, just walk the other way.
Run the other way.
Exactly. And for your own supply, do not buy the grease. Buy the dry powder from the small local shops.
How much does it cost?
It is really cheap, like 10 or 20 rupees for a small packet. You know exactly what you're getting, and it washes off safely.
Now, what about the etiquette around throwing water? Because historically, this started before the actual holiday, right?
Yeah, there used to be this tradition where people, mostly young guys, would throw water balloons at women walking down the street for almost a week before Holi even started.
Which is basically just harassment.
That is exactly what it was, and thankfully the police have really cracked down on it. It is technically banned to throw water balloons before the actual day of the festival.
But David notes that it still happens a bit.
It does happen, so if you are walking around Kathmandu on Saturday or Sunday, just be a little alert.
But on Monday, the ban is lifted.
On Monday, it is open season. If you are out, you are playing.
What if you really do not want to participate? What if you just want a quiet day?
Then you have to stay inside your hotel. It is that simple. Stay indoors until about 3 in the afternoon.
Things calm down by 3?
Yeah, people get tired, they run out of powder, they go home to shower and eat. By late afternoon, it is pretty safe to go out for a meal.
Okay, we need to highlight a very specific safety warning that David brings up. And this is serious.
The rooftop warning.
Yes. Throwing water from rooftops and balconies is a huge part of the fun, but the architecture can be a hazard.
This is crucial, especially in the older parts of Kathmandu and the town of Timi.
Timi has a lot of old brick buildings.
Beautiful old buildings, but they are old, and the maintenance on some of these balcony railings is not great.
Rusted iron, loose bricks.
Exactly, and people get caught up in the excitement. They are dodging a water balloon. They lean back against the railing.
It gives way.
Accidents have happened in the past, real tragedies. A fall from 3 stories up is no joke.
So the rule is, check your surroundings.
Before you lean on a railing, give it a firm shake. Test it. Do not get so carried away with the party that you forget where you were standing.
And if you have kids with you?
Keep them very close. The crowds are huge, and if you are up high, you need to have eyes on them at all times.
So have fun, but keep your situational awareness turned on. Okay, so that is Holi, the Festival of Colors. It sounds incredible.
It is.
But then the colors wash away, and we move into the second half of this super week,
The election.
Thursday, March 5th. And we need to shift gears here because the tone changes completely.
It does, from pure play to very serious business.
And again, we are not into the politics here. We just want to keep tourists out of trouble.
The rule for tourists during an election in Nepal is simple. Observe, but do not participate.
What does participate actually mean in this context?
It means do not join in the election parades even if the music sounds fun. Do not let someone hand you a political flag.
Stay entirely neutral.
Completely neutral. And there is one massive rule that tourists always seem to break.
Photography.
Yes. Do not take photos of election rallies. Do not take photos of voting booths. Just put your camera away.
Why are they so strict about cameras?
Because of the political climate right now? Remember, the Gen Z protests removed the last government over corruption. The authorities are extremely sensitive to any kind of foreign influence.
They are worried about outsiders meddling.
Exactly. And if a foreigner is standing there taking photos of a political parade, the police might view that as suspicious.
Have tourists actually been arrested for this?
Yes, arrests have been made in the past. It is not something they take lightly. You do not want to end up in a Nepali police station because you wanted a cool picture for your social media.
So if a parade is coming down the street in Pokhara, what should you do?
Just step back, go into a cafe, Watch respectfully from a distance. Let Nepal do its own thing.
That is great advice. Let them have their moment.
The good news is that currently everything is quiet. There are no protests expected. It is just going to be campaigns and parades.
Just a lot of noise and traffic.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a week of odd hours, packed buses, and avoiding political rallies.
Which means your travel plans need to be flexible.
And you need accurate information.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to why we are using David Ways as our guide today.
His resources are truly the best out there.
The Longest Way Home Nepal travel website and his guidebooks.
They are the most updated guidebooks in the world right now.
Which is so important in a country where prices are changing constantly.
Inflation has been a big factor. If you buy a traditional printed guidebook, it is probably 2 years out of date by the time you read it.
Right. The bus ticket might be double what the book says.
But David updates his digital guides constantly. He includes current transport costs, accommodation prices, and restaurant prices.
For every single chapter.
Yes.
So if you are trying to escape the chaos of the city and head up to
Nagarkot is beautiful for sunrise.
he has the exact prices for Nagarkot.
Yes.
Or if you want to explore the history in Panout,
Panout is a stunning ancient town.
he has the updated transport costs to get to Panout.
He does.
And the same goes for the hilltop town of Kritipur.
Kritipur has amazing food and culture.
And the incredible stupa at Bodhanath.
Bodhanath is a must-see.
For all of these places, from Kritipur to Bodhanath, you need to know what things actually cost right now, not what they cost 3 years ago.
Because during election week, a taxi driver might try to charge you a premium. Having David's guidebook gives you the baseline so you do not get overcharged.
It is essential. You can find his work at the Longest Way Home website.
Highly recommend it.
We do plan to have a short update out after the election results come in.
Yes.
Just geared towards tourists so you know what the aftermath looks like.
For now, things are going smoothly.
So to recap this super week, Monday is the Holi Festival.
Get colorful, but be safe on those rooftops.
Wednesday is the huge travel day as people migrate for the election.
Expect filled-up local transport.
Thursday is the election itself.
Stay neutral and do not take any photos.
And just be prepared for a week of slow travel and public holidays.
Be flexible and you will have an amazing time.
It really is one of the greatest festivals in the year, which you can join in and enjoy. And an election which you are best to avoid.
A week of incredible contrasts.
We wish a safe and colorful holiday to anyone lucky enough to be in Nepal this week.
Have a great time out there.
Thanks for listening. We will see you next time.